In Ukraine, we believe that after 40 days, the soul leaves the earth. We believe that people who die see what we are doing here, and we want them to know that we don't forget about them.
Yeah, but it was really cold, and I'm really surprised for those people. They sleep in tents, not in houses, just in tents. At night, even worse, Always at night is the worst. So I remember the worst temperature was like -27. And when you take a pictures with that temperature is glove, everything was like so hot, and battery in camera gone so quickly. This is what I recognize: really cool cars or really old. Two kind of people live in Ukraine: really rich or really poor people. Is nothing in between. So this is the entrance to Tube. Whole entrance on Maidan Square, they were closed as a protection. People from Maidan want to live as normal people without any corruption, without any... they are really poor, and they know government make big money, and they lie them, and they promise them things which they never happen. And basically people got enough of that promises, and they decide make a revolution. In the square Maidan, it was like 1, 2, 3, what I know, 3 medic centers, and they always were full of people. So the police, they were really violent. Berkut guy, really young guy, and I think he was scared more than me when I took that image. Each Berkut guy or police guy, they pay them like $100 a day, which is so much money. This is what I had. And the people from Maidan, they were really pissed off about this. I know the situation from Polish journalists from Republika TV. They filming when they Berkut attack Maidan people, and they were really violent. And after a few days, they start shooting people. She's a Ukrainian journalist. Ukrainian police tried to kill her, but she survived. You can see on that image she was beaten a lot. She was protected after that. Everywhere where she moved, she was like with few people. This is a Maidan barricade, the first barricade. Okay. So this is the second barricade. It was the first barricade, second, and I think that one was the last one. You always have to wear helmet. He wasn't allowed to go on a barricade without helmet. That's why all those people wear helmets. After a few days, people say to me like it's not safe at all wearing press labels, because you are like a target for Berkut, for snipers. You don't think about, you are in danger position. You just try to be as close as you can with that people and take pictures. People were so friendly for each other, not only for journalists, but each other. They make food together, they singing together, they try to spend time together. It was really solidarity. I saw the Polish flags with Solidarność on it. Those people from Maidan, they were really friendly for Polish people. That's another thing. Poland was really involved in that situation. That's the Poland. We are always in everywhere. We really love fighting, I think, wars. Trouble, yeah. We really love trouble. And I think this is a really positive image, because even that whole situation, they try to live like normal. They make a pitch for football and they play football on ice. One of journalists, we leave the Maidan Square and we try to go further and check the park, because we heard is something going on in that park, and was so many pro-Russian people, and I was scared there because they hate Maidan and whole people from Maidan, and they knew we are from Maidan. Yeah, I was scared because they're like touching us in the crowd and they're shouting to us.
Тетушки кидай сюда, блядь, по вас кидай!
Speaking, if we think about Orange Revolution that happened in 2004, people were coming, people were explaining their position, politicians were supporting them, we had a huge stage, and I would say it was some kind of a theatrical revolution. This time, it was a war. Between people and between the government.
Дорогі брати і сестри, українці, те, що трапилося вчорашній і сьогоднішній ніч, ще є одним підтвердженням того, що цей президент лише називається президентом. Це людина, яка планувала.
If the person dies, in 40 days, their family are getting together and they're having a small dinner and they're bringing flowers and they're visiting the cemetery. They're talking about the people who have died. When I was taking pictures accidentally, it was the 40th day after the 100 has fallen. People who died, it's around 113 or 14 people. We're calling them Heaven 100. Because all of them were trying, because they were angels of our country. If not them, we don't know what would happen. We lost the Crimea, but we could lose our independence, we could lose our country entirely. If not these 100 people, there would be no Ukraine. And you could see flowers everywhere, flowers and lit candles. And I started taking pictures. I didn't feel that I was intervening someone's private space, someone's private grave, because it was the grief of the nation, because 100 of heroes have died, and it's time to remember them. And I know the story of the guy who was 19-year-old. He was at Maidan from the very beginning, so for 2 months he was living under the sky, cooking in a pot, having this small fire in the main square of Kyiv that is not very usual. And he was calling his father every single day, saying that everything is fine, don't worry, I'm wearing a blue helmet. The blue helmet is a sign of peace, so like, no one can shoot me. And he was one of the first victims who died. It's a small grave, and what it says is, my sons, my brothers, forgive me that I haven't saved you from police. This is supposedly a Christmas tree. So we have the poster that says, we love Russians, but we hate Putin. It has a portrait of Taras Shevchenko, the biggest poet of Ukraine, and he was actually fighting against Russians. He was fighting against the order to forbid Ukrainians from speaking Ukrainian. It was a revolution that united all the classes. There was no one who was left over. People just wanted, all together, they wanted to fight for their independence. That was Maidan was about. That was I was trying to show in my pictures as well, that it was not only about grief, but it was also about this thankful remembrance to people who gave us a chance to stay independent. It's been too much over the last 2 years. Around 9,000 people have died both during Maidan and the war in eastern part of Ukraine. People lost their families, their houses, their lands. And As a nation, we were trying to help them. Every one of us fears that someone of our family will be taken to the war.
They're really those people from Maidan. They were there for the freedom, for better life, and nothing changed, I think. Europe doesn't care, world doesn't care about Ukraine. This is how I look now. Putin, he's doing whatever he wants. No one cares what's going on there. It's just typical political war, for me.
Maidan was important for Ukrainian nation because it helped us to feel that we are Ukrainians, that our heart belongs to Ukraine, and it's our land and we need to fight for it. The revolution has changed their understanding of what does it mean to be a patriot, and they became conscious of whom they are and what kind of role they can play. If 50 students can help to raise a revolution, then every single person matters in the country.